There's a new superhero in town. I know it's not from the usual Marvel or DC universe. It's from our very own Mollywood. Lokah Chapter One has taken the country by storm, minting hundreds of crores. But beyond that, everyone's talking about this female superhero, mythological social film. That's the thing about this movie. It's got so many layers, I can't even box it into one genre. But joining me for this special broadcast is actor Kalyani Priyadarshan, aka Chandra, and director Dominic Arun, the man behind the Loka success. Namaskaram, thank you so much for joining me. Hope both of you are doing well, Kalyani and Dominic.
Yes,
Thanks.
thank you for having us.
Yeah.
Congratulations, first of all. Before I go into the success of Loka, look, I must talk about the current reveal that's just happened. It's got me and so many others excited. Kalyani will begin with that. Now the confirmation finally is in that Mammootty is part of the Loka universe. What do I call it? Multiverse universe? I don't know. But it's great. Mammootty is part of it. That confirmation has come, Kalyani.
Yeah, I mean, for those that guessed from his voice,
Yeah.
obviously it was his voice in the film. But yeah, we were very excited to finally announce it officially for his birthday.
I saw your Instagram post in which, you're giving a detailed tribute to Mamuka, but you also say, surprise on set. So did you not know that he was also going to be a part of Loka? Was it a surprise to you?
No, we knew I mean, there was only one person in our mind when the character was written, or in his mind when the character was written. And, but him visiting us on set was just a surprise. That was just him being very supportive of us and just wanted to see what these little kids were up to, I think. And so he just visited one day, the first week of shoot. And I think all of us were quite shocked that he was there. I was very jealous because all the boys, as you can see, I'm hiding behind there. Like, we're all closely, he's watching the first couple of things that we've shot and we're all like closely watching. It's like having someone grade your exam in front of you. And it was just great because he was very light, very chill, but we're all like extra tense. So, yeah.
Amazing. And clearly he's approved. You may be sitting behind wondering what he's had to say. Clearly he's approved. I think the world is approved. Dominic, the success of this film has been huge. We'll talk about whether you expected it or not. But are you looking at creating, for lack of a better word, a multiverse here? Because it's not just Mamuka. There are teasers now coming out of Tovino, of Dulquer, all being a part of this, franchise that you've created.
The audio is...
We lost your audio for a second.
Okay, Dominic, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay, so I was asking Dominic about this franchise that you're creating now, where you've got all of the biggest stars coming together in this particular film. Teasers dropping now of Tovino, of Dulquer, all part of this. Was this part of the plan?
Yes, it was always part of the plan because even during the initial scripting stages, we had these characters planted in the film, and we definitely wanted big stars to play that because we wanted to expand the world of Loka, and to become bigger, you need bigger stars in the film. So it was all definitely part of the plan. But yeah, it's nice to see everything fall in place at the right time.
Fall in place, and how, Dominic? Let's talk about that, the mention that I made earlier about whether you expected this kind of success and the kind of reviews that are coming in for the film. Were you expecting this? It's no longer just about Kerala. I think the entire country is talking about this movie.
Yeah, I mean, we never expected something like this to happen, but we knew that we've done a lot of hard work and we've put together a good film, but we were not sure about how much of love like we're getting right now is going to happen. But yeah, it feels really special because every part of the country is actually speaking about the film. They are sending us reviews, they're sending us fan-made posters, memes. It's been amazing. It's been really crazy actually the last 2-3 weeks. So no, we weren't expecting something like this, but it really feels good.
Yeah.
I'm sure this is a pinch me moment for both of you and for everyone who's been associated with this film. Kalyani, There's been so much talk about your character. You know, I love celebrating any film that puts the spotlight on women, honestly. And this has done it so beautifully, so well. You know, I started off talking about how this is a social, woman-led superhero, mythological flick. I can go on and on with the number of genres it covers. But was that really the biggest attraction for you? The fact that you have a woman-centric film that sends across such a massive, important message?
Firstly, thank you for all the kind things that you said. To be very honest, when I signed on board, I was mostly just excited to be a part of a really of telling such a cool story. And I don't think at that time I realized what kind of a responsibility this would be for, or what this could do for female-led films. I think my responsibility at that time, all I kept thinking was, I was responsible to my producer and to him and his vision and to figuring out how to make that vision come alive.
Yeah.
And I think through the course of time and through the reception, I've kind of realized that no, the responsibility is much bigger. And I have to embrace that. But at the same time, I'm glad I never felt that while we were shooting, because I think the pressure would have just been too much. So yeah, I mean, it's a great feeling. And I think I was telling someone that, superheroes always, they give you the ability to like dream big and think of something that's bigger than life. And if the character that we've created, I won't say my character, but the character that was created by Dominic, if that gives any girl the sort of feeling that she can be strong in her own way, then I think that's a win for all of us.
Absolutely. You know, you're saying you didn't feel the pressure. And I see all the pictures that you've been posting of what it's been like shooting this film. I want to know really, what was it like? Was it a whole lot of fun? Because it definitely looks like it in all of the pictures. I mean, the entire experience must have been absolutely amazing. So many people, all so talented, immensely talented, coming together for this movie. But at the same time, looks like you all, had a ball at the time of your life shooting it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had a great bunch of technicians working for us, and it was a really cool set. I mean, there was no shouting, or there was no angry people. We didn't have angry people. We were just all working with a lot of passion, a lot of energy, and everybody wanted to give their best for the film. So I think everything fell in place, and maybe that's why it's been talked about a lot.
Yeah, honestly, it kind of felt like we were just working with family.
Yeah.
And I was just telling them also, this win feels great only because I have all of these guys to share it with. I don't think it would ever feel this, I would feel this happy about a win like this otherwise. So, yeah.
All the photos that have been put out of all of you, all smiles, I think it makes all of us also, in a way, I know it's not true, but it makes us all feel like, we were part of the process, which is great. It's a great feeling because we're getting to celebrate the film with you. We're getting to celebrate the making, the process with you as well. But Dominic, I think that I've seen many of your interviews where you speak about what really it took to make this film possible. And a big element of that was the kind of support that you got from Dulquer Salmaan. Just take us through that. How did Loka actually become a reality?
To do a female-centric action superhero film, it requires a minimum budget to actually pull something off like this. And not just our industry, I think for any industry, it's a big budget film. If you say it's a 30 crore film, it's just a 30 crore is a big budget for us in Malayalam.
Very true.
So for a producer to actually share the same vision that we have and have the same conviction and actually encourage us to have if you need to spend money in this, you go ahead and spend it, because if it's going to make it look better and look good, and if whatever you have in your mind, if you want to bring that out, if you need to spend money, spend it. So that kind of encouragement we had from DQ and from Wayfarer Films. So I've said this before. I don't think there is Loka without DQ, because you need that same passion and same energy from the production as well to pull something off like this.
Okay, so our thanks to them then to have ensured that Loka made it to the big screen and that we all got to also see it and kind of get a glimpse of the vision that you have, Dominic, because I sense that this is just the beginning, considering we're looking at this massive franchise that's building up. Kalyani, I want to understand, with a film like Loka, and I think in the last 1 year or so, the kind of films that we've been seeing from Mollywood, it also feels like these are films that cater to a younger audience as well. Mollywood is known for these deep thinking films, great storylines, great plot, and sending across a very important message to society, which this one does too, and I'll talk about that in a bit. But do you think that these films serve a greater purpose in also reaching out to your younger audiences in an industry like Mollywood?
I mean, I think that's a big question to answer. But I think at the end of it, at a time when people constantly talk about how no one's going to theaters and how, the theater culture seems to be dying, it feels great when someone shows us 6 a.m. shows that are full. And people are cheering and people are happy, and I think that just makes us really happy. I don't know if we all set out with the purpose of this is what we want to achieve, but it's always nice when that becomes the sort of end result. So,
yeah. I want to get to the meat of really what this film is about. And Dominic, in this entire movie, there are strong social, I'd say even philosophical undertones. So what really is the message that you wanted to send across with this particular film? Because there are several.
See, I think it's what the viewer's perspective. I'm just leaving it to that because I'm not a person, I'm not a filmmaker who wants to send a message through a film, even though it has got underlying things. But primarily what I try to do is entertain the audience. I just want the people to be entertained for 2.5 hours. And that is the primary purpose. Everything that is subtle is, I prefer not to talk about it, because if people talk about it, I think it's better and it's great, because that's for them to understand. I just want to, it's out there for them, let them talk about it. I don't want to talk about it.
Kalyani, what about you? I know this is treading a bit on the controversial line, so I don't want to, force you to answer, but do you think that it kind of also ensures that we have a conversation about caste, about equality, which unfortunately is still relevant, valid today?
I mean, how do we answer such a big, such a big question that I think requires so much more than 2 minutes of us speaking a few words about it. But I mean, yeah, how do you answer this question?
No, it has got.
Yeah, I mean, I think people have seen things that were meant to be seen. People have understood things that were meant to be understood. And those conversations are happening within people, I mean, within groups that have watched this film together. And I think that's a great thing that's happened. So, yeah.
Okay, so the message that needs to go out is for the audience essentially to decide. But the fact that, we're seeing so much conversation around it itself tells you that there are several takeaways from Chapter 1. And I think Chapter 2 will have more of that, hopefully. But Kalyani, also, the film and the process that's gone into this particular, into the making of Lokah Chapter 1, how has that changed you, either as an actor or as a person?
I mean, as an actor, I've grown to understand. I mean, I think I've grown as an actor in this film because there was so much of my own, I think, naturalism that I had to forget and leave behind while playing Chandra. But at the same time, I was just telling these guys about how I sort of grew up as someone who was never athletic, and to be able to do some of the things that I actually ended up doing in the film was me like patting my childhood self in the back and being like, hey, listen, look, you were able to do that. So it feels nice because these are perspectives of my own self that I was able to change. It's great. All the love that's coming is great, but I think this has done a lot for my own child, inner child.
Can I just put out one particular post, and this is something that you'd put out on social media, on your Instagram, of what your father had to also say about the success of Loka. What a beautiful message. Can I just say, it's amazing to see the kind of love in that message, but also very, very important advice to go back to, I'm sure, at every point of your career, to stay rooted, to kind of, stay on the course. How do you do that? How do you live up to your father's advice?
I mean, I grew up with the person who sent this message as a father. This wasn't the only time he's ever given advice like this. So I think all my life I've heard things like this, and I think it is a part of my personality. It is never about, I mean, it's about, okay, now this happened, what next? How else can I learn? How else can I grow? How else can I sort of become the kind of actor that I at one point want to be? So, yeah.
Amazing, but beautiful message. Like I said, I think so many people kind of resonated with that, because it's very often our dads who kind of say, look, stay the course, don't get carried away. It's very often the dads who give that advice. Dominic, before I wrap this up, look, you've got to have to hurry up, Dominic, and put out chapter 2. Everyone's very impatient, everyone's waiting. And I know you can't give us too many details, but what can we expect? Bigger, better, grander?
Yeah, that is the whole idea, because chapter 1 was a small glimpse into the world of Loka. Chapter 2 will be a little more expansion of the world. You'll see a lot more characters. You'll see a lot more of Tobido Thomas.
Great. I'm looking forward to that. I love Tobina as an actor, so I'm definitely looking forward to that. Thank you so much, both of you, Dominic and Kalyani, for joining us. Congratulations once again for the success of Loka, and I'm very proud, that we're seeing again Malayalam cinema being spotlighted in this manner. It's amazing to see. It's amazing to celebrate. So I feel so very proud of that. So thank you for that. And thank you
so much.
Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.